coming up on Sports Night. We know she's a talented diver, but Olivia Rosendahl also gave us a look at some of her other talents.
The women's basketball team looks to chop down the Cornhuskers.
Men's basketball travels up to Madison, Wisconsin to face the Badgers and look to get a big win.
Jenny, it's been about a year since you and I worked for NBC in the Winter Olympics. I wish those games had happened every single year.
You're totally right, Evan. It's flown by. But you know what? While the Olympics may not happen every year, one constant that remains is Sports Night, and it starts right now. Welcome back to the show. Evan, how did you prepare for this insane cold?
You know, Jenny, I tried turning up the heat in my house, but I couldn't really figure out the thermostat quite too well, so it was pretty hard for me. But the women's swimming and diving team, however, definitely figured out how to heat up for the week. The women's swimming and diving team is quietly taking the Big Ten over one stroke at a time. The Cats are currently 8-5 in dual meets this season, including a 170-129 victory over Cincinnati last Sunday. Now, a couple of notable performances included sophomore Calypso Sheridan, who reached out to a victory in both the 100 and 200-yard backstroke events. Elsewhere, first-year Miriam Guevara floated to a win in the 100-yard butterfly.
Many Northwestern athletes have talents and interests beyond their respective sport. Our own Ryan Coleman sat down to talk with Olivia Rosendahl to find out about hers.
Olivia Rosendahl is known at Northwestern as an elite diver.
And now back-to-back titles for you. How does it feel? Back-to-back champs.
While she is a talented diver, she's incredibly talented in a different area as well.
My dad used to do music, and we sang together when I was little. And then I learned how to play the piano, and then just kind of kept at it because music is like a passion of mine.
She learned how to sing and play the piano while developing it as a hobby, but it means so much more than that to her.
It's like kind of a relaxing thing that's always been part of my life, and I think it's a good part of who I am, so just kind of like part of me. But if I need some kind of outlet or if I'm stressed out, then usually I'll play the piano or sing because it makes me feel better.
Not only is playing the piano, music, and singing important to her, but according to her roommate, she's not that bad.
Well, she sings all the time. Like everywhere we go, car, at practice, to herself, to other people. Like, I feel like some people get annoyed when their friends are singing all the time, but like when her voice is like perfect, then it's just like you listening to like a song that you like, you know.
Of course, I had to see for myself to judge her talents. How good is she? You can be the judge of that for yourself. This is Ryan Coleman, NNN Sports.
And I told you to be patient, and I told you to be fine, and I told you to be bound.
You can see Olivia compete next on February 1st and 2nd at the Minnesota-Purdue Tri-Dual Meet.
The men's basketball team has struggled to put together wins in conference play. Let's see if they can heat up against the Wisconsin Badgers. Early on, the Cats forced a turnover, which would lead to Aaron Falzone finding Anthony Gaines for the layup. Next up, Falzone bursts around the screen and buries a three-pointer. And before half, Anthony Gaines blocked, ignites a fast break, and Greer converts a contested layup. Cats trail 34-24 at the half. Second half now, Ryan Taylor squares up his defender and knocks down the wing from the three-pointer. Under 10 minutes to go, Derek Pardon marks out his territory in the paint and finishes through contact for the and one. Cats still trailing. Anthony Gaines hits Ryan Taylor in rhythm for the catch and shoot three-pointer. Kaboom! And finally, A.J. Turner on the fast break leads Anthony Gaines for a wide open dunk where he would dunk on the entire state of Wisconsin, but the Cats would lose 62-46. Now on to Maryland. Ryan Greer beats his defender off the dribble and finishes high off the glass for the layup. Following a steal, Greer goes coast to coast, but here at Northwestern, we're not selfish. He would find the trailing Aaron foul zone for the three from the top of the key and splash. Under 4 to go, Vic Law comes off the Barrett Benson screen and finds the bottom of the net to cut the deficit down to 11. Next possession now, Anthony Gaines picks the pocket of Anthony Cohen Jr. and gets the layup. Cats would trail at the half, 33-22. Second half now, Greer guns it down low to Derek Pardon. Eventually, he's going to get the ball in the low post, and here it comes, folks. He finishes through the contact for another and one. Cats still down. Towards the end of the game now, Miller Kopp from the corner, and he finds it, but that would not be enough as the Cats would fall in College Park to the Maryland Terrapins, 70-52. Joining me now on desk is the one and only Andrew Golden of the Daily Northwestern to discuss men's basketball. Andrew, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now let's talk about the last couple of games. The Cats have failed to score over 55 points in both those games. What's happened to their offense?
They just struggled to shoot the ball. Against Wisconsin, they shot almost 30%, and then against Maryland, they shot 31%. And they just struggled to shoot the ball offensively. There's nothing specifically that they're doing wrong. They just haven't been able to make shots, especially from the three-point line.
All right, so making more shots is the key. Now, we are in the midst of midterm season here at Northwestern, and the Cats have played 10 of their 20 league games. So if you could give them a mid-season, mid-conference grade, what would it be?
I'd probably give them a C. I think they did a really good job. They did a really good job defensively. They're ranked 4th in the Big Ten in scoring in opponents' points per game. So I think they're doing a really good job defensively. The problem is just figuring out what's going wrong offensively in order to have a good stretch towards the end of the season.
Okay, you're a pretty tough grader. Probably get some pretty bad CTEC scores from Northwestern students. But my final question is this. Fox Sports' Howie Schwab had the Cats listed as one of his first 4 teams out of the tournament, meaning they're on the bubble. But this happened before the 2-game losing streak. So, Andrew, what do the Cats need to do in order to find themselves back in the tournament for the second time in 3 years? I
think we've been talking about the whole broadcast. I think they just need to figure things out offensively. Vic Law's been struggling, so I think they need to find another person offensively who can step up for them, whether that's A.J. Turner or Ryan Taylor. I think they just need to find somebody else in the offense who can really contribute because while Vic Law's struggling, battling back from his injury.
All right, well, Coach Collins, I'm always available if you need a shooter, but that's all the time we have. To find more of Andrew's work, please visit the Daily Northwestern website. Andrew, thank you for coming by.
Appreciate it.
Coming up next, we take a look at women's basketball and also welcome a special guest to the desk. Stay tuned.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Jenny, I've been told by people on the staff that I have some pretty bad dad jokes. Mind if I tell you one?
Evan, you're the least funny person I know, but sure, go ahead.
All right, I appreciate that. So how do basketball players stay cool during a game?
How?
They stand near the fans.
Evan, you really airballed that one.
Well, that might be true, but you know who hasn't been airballing shots this year? The women's basketball team. The Cats have already beat 3 different ranked teams this season and had a chance to match last year's win total with a win against Nebraska. Out to Lincoln we go. Getting ready for tip-off as the Cats look to win their 3rd game in a row. Early first quarter, Kayla Mershon of the Cornhuskers catches the ball and drains a 3-pointer to give the Huskers the early lead 6-4. Clock winding down in the first quarter here. Lindsey Pulliam pulls up for 3 and beats the buzzer. Cats would trail 11-9 at the end of the first. Second quarter now, Veronica Burton with the ankle twisting crossover finds Jordan Hamilton in the corner and she splashes a 3-pointer. End of the first half now, Burton tries the tough runner but she can't get it to go. But who's there? Mighty Palace Kunai Akpana gets an incredible tip-in. Let's take a second look at that, folks. I don't know how she made it, but hey, 2 points is 2 points. Now in the fourth quarter, Jordan Hamilton is still feeling it from the wing. She will knock down yet another 3-pointer. Cats up 7 now. But Nebraska would not go away as Hannah Whittish knocks down the 3-pointer to tie things up with just over 1 minute to go. Northwestern down 1. They go to their captain, Palace Kunai Akpana, who drives and gets this nifty layup to go, and the Cats retake the lead. But Nebraska would have one last shot, but Jordan Hamilton steals the inbound pass and gets fouled, as the Cats would hold on to get their 3rd straight win.
Next up, the Cats travel to Urbana-Champaign to take on a 9-11 Illinois Fighting Illini team. To start off her incredible performance, Lindsey Pulliam buries the jumper to tie the game up in the 8th minute. She would finish with 14 points. Early in the second half, Veronica Burton dribbles around, takes it down towards the hoop, and searches for the open teammate. She finds the always reliable Abby Wolf, who is open for the easy bucket to bring Northwestern within 2. But the Illini did not make it easy on the Cats, as Alex Whittinger gets a layup to go up 3 with just under 5 left in the 3rd quarter. Could Illinois upset the Cats? Palace Kunai Akapana says absolutely not and gives Northwestern the lead with the bucket. Sydney Wood would quite literally help the Cats run away with this one, as she grabs the board and rushes down the court for a fast break layup. Finally, Courtney Jones on Illinois misses the final shot of the game, and the Cats earn a W 64-56 on the road.
Now the Cats look to keep their hot streak alive tonight against the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Tune in to next week's show for highlights.
Even though it's not a winter sport, I know I missed it, I know you missed it, and here at Sports Night, we aim to please. We're bringing football back, and I am so excited to have sophomore safety J.R. Pace on desk with me tonight. Thanks for joining me, J.R.
Thank you for having me.
So we thought it might be nice to heat up with some J.R. Pace highlights from the Holiday Bowl. Take a look. First and foremost, congratulations on the big Holiday Bowl win. You picked up the defensive MVP after 2 recovered turnovers. What was that game like for you?
It was a fun game. You know, started out kind of slow for us, for our team, but you know, we picked up at halftime, and it was a great, resilient win for our team.
Very nice. You know, there definitely was a momentum switch at halftime. What the heck was Coach Fitzgerald saying in that pre-half huddle before the 3rd quarter? What did he say?
He was saying a couple of things. The 2 main things: one, he was just telling us to calm down. You know, we had a lot of nerves and anxiety coming to that game. And the other thing was just execution. You know, we had a good game plan in place, and it was just about executing. We had a few communication errors early on, but, you know, once we just stuck to the plan and did what we were supposed to, things swung our way.
So I have to ask, you shouted out an Instagram personality on national television. Who was it, and what gave you the idea to shout her out?
She was just a girl on Instagram with a lot of followers, but one of my friends, teammate Zoe, dared me that if I were to get some TV time that I wouldn't shout this girl out, shoot my shot, and I got the chance, I did it, so.
Love to see it. Well, last but not least, we just had one of the coldest days in Chicago on record. You're from the sunny, warm state of Georgia. How are you adapting to this Midwest weather?
Actually, I haven't. So today I walked in with a full body suit with a hoodie, and everybody was making fun of me. But I got to stay warm, so I'm not used to this. So yeah.
Very nice. I don't think anybody is used to it, to be honest. But thank you so much for joining us, JR. On behalf of the entire Sports Night staff, congratulations on an incredible season, and good luck going forward.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And coming up after the break, we head over to the courts for men's and women's tennis. Don't go anywhere.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Evan, do you want to tell the audience about the decision we made over break?
Okay. Well, it's been decided that my dad jokes are just too corny and will no longer be tolerated on the show.
It's about time. They were causing a racket. But speaking of rackets, the men's tennis team headed into the weekend 0-4 and would face number 21 Alabama in Tuscaloosa on Friday. The Crimson Tide, on the other hand, came into the match with a 5-0 record and would try and stay perfect. Northwestern came out on top in number 1 doubles as Nick Brooks and Simon Bratham dropped Alabama's Osama and Kualkavalta 6-4. However, the Cats would ultimately drop the doubles point. And singles didn't go much better for the Cats, who could only salvage 2 points across the table. The Wildcats would move to 0-6 on the season, still looking for their first win. And their next chance would come soon. Northwestern stuck around Tuscaloosa to play another Alabama university, famous for its football program, the Auburn Tigers. This game was one that Northwestern desperately needed to win, and that is exactly what they did. Trice Pickens and Antonioni Fasano cruised to a 6-2 victory at third doubles, while Simon Bratham and Nick Brooks clinched the doubles point for the Cats with a 6-4 win over Brandon Labzer and Tad McLean. Auburn tied the match with wins at first and fourth singles, but Chris Efron ended the drama as he got the win at fifth singles for Northwestern. Northwestern gets to celebrate not only the win, but that the match against Auburn marked the end of a 5 straight away matches to start the season. Next up is a home doubleheader on Sunday against Duke and Chicago State.
Not to be outdone, the women's team had a highly anticipated matchup with the 22nd ranked Central Florida Golden Knights. Game, set, match, let's take a look at how they did. It was a day of comebacks for the Cats on Saturday. After dropping the first doubles match, Northwestern won the remaining 2 to take the doubles point from UCF. But the Knights showed their top 25 talent early in singles play, taking the first 2 matches for a 1-point lead over the Cats. Lee Orr was having none of it, though, and dominated UCF's Ksenia Kuznetsova, say that 3 times fast, to even the score. After UCF took another match, Northwestern looked to be in trouble as both Rhea Doshi and Julie Byrne had dropped their first sets. But the 2 turned things around and both came out on top, and so did the Cats. Now, to continue their Florida series, the Cats took on number 17 Miami, Florida, and clawed out a 4-3 victory. The momentum really began to swing after Inki Oga defeated Yuna Ito at number 4 singles 6-2, 6-7, 6-1. But this win was a little extra special for the team as they clinched a spot in the ITA National Indoor Team Championships for the first time since 2014. These championships will take place at the University of Washington next month. But for now, the Cats will travel to Nashville with a match against Vanderbilt tomorrow.
Do you ever wonder what goes on in order to make Sports Night episodes each week? Chris Burton gives you an inside look behind the scenes.
Welcome back to the first Sports Night of 2019. I'm Miles Miller. This man to my left is Pat Timlin. Pat, how did you ring in the new year?
Well, this is a sports night that you see. Clean, simple, just 2 people sitting at a desk talking sports. But there's a whole world that you never see, where the show is really made. This is the control room.
Truly, you couldn't do a show without every single person that's there.
Avery Van Etten is the jack-of-all-trades leader of the control room. Though she's the director now, she's done everything from graphics to audio since coming to NNN last year.
Honestly, I was just kind of looking through the work-study options, and NNN was one of them, and it was like related to journalism, so that seemed pretty cool. And then my roommate also applied for that work-study job, and so I was like, oh yeah, that seems like a good idea. I could not have picked a better work-study.
It's a work-study position for many of the crew, including Austin Benavides, in charge of playback.
So every show, whenever you see a video package, whenever you see a voiceover clip, anything like that, I simply set those up and play them, and then I do a countdown right before the end to make sure everyone's queued up and ready.
Avery, Austin, and the rest of the crew, including Miranda Chabot and Tamara Sanchez, make sure every episode of Sports Night runs smoothly. And boy, do we appreciate it. For NNN Sports, I'm Chris Burton.
Not only are the folks in the control room amazing at what they do, but they are also hilarious people that make Sports Night that much more fun. Thank you so much for all your hard work.
And coming up after the break, we take a look at the best plays over the last 7 days and plays of the week. Don't go anywhere.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, The possibilities are endless.
You know, Evan, I don't even think I left my house yesterday. How did you spend your snow day, cold day, whatever it was?
Well, Jenny, it was a bit of an adventure. You see, around 10:30 a.m., my roommates and I, we ventured downstairs and we noticed that our downstairs bathroom toilet actually had frozen. So we had to grab a hammer a couple times and actually had to start pounding the ice just so it wouldn't be frozen anymore. I actually went viral a little bit.
I think I saw that
I don't
somewhere.
want to brag or
Twitter.
anything. Yeah, I went viral on Twitter and on Instagram. A local group called Shy City Schools, they messaged me like, Evan, can we use your video? I said, you know what? I don't mind being famous for an off day. Not a bad off day. But I was inside for most of the day as well. But then my roommates and I, we went over to Subway, about a 5-minute walk. We embraced the cold. Mom, Dad, I know you're watching this. I'm safe. Don't worry, no frostbite. But it was quite the experience and quite the bonding moment. But there's also a big game on Sunday. You want to talk about that a little bit?
There is a big game. Rams, Patriots, I have to say I'm rooting for the Rams.
Really?
Yes, even though I do live in Boston. I grew up in New Jersey. My dad, always a Giant fan, and while I might be embarrassed at the moment to be a Giants fan, they're going to make a comeback next year, just watch. I cannot take the Patriots parading around Boston every single year. Their parade every year goes right by my house. My parents can look right out from our house, see them celebrating. It's not going to happen this year. Rams all the way.
Now, see, I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan, so you'd think that I'd be rooting for Tom Brady's team, but the Patriots always win, and it's time for the NFL to change it up a little bit, in my opinion. So I'm going to join you on the Rams bandwagon. I'm saying 34-27. But Jenny, the real reason why I want the Rams to win is because one of the people here at Sports Night named Miles Miller, he loves his Patriots so much, even though he's from Chicago. And all of us here at Sports Night know if the Patriots win, Miles will let us know about it for the next 365 days of the year. And honestly, that's just a migraine waiting to happen, and I do not want to relive that.
I don't want to see it.
But you do know what I want to relive?
What do you want to relive?
Plays of the week.
Love it.
Rolling in at number 3, Palace Kunai Akpana puts the Wildcats on her back, cuts through traffic, and gets the game-winning basket against Nebraska on the road.
A.J. Turner finds streaking Anthony Gaines, who throws it down with authority.
And coming in at number 1 with time winding down in the first half, Palace Kunai Akpana somehow gets this put back to go. Let's take a second look, folks. Just looking at this, I think I just may have torn my rotator cuff. I don't know how she did it, but what a play.
You know, Evan, I'm really excited about the women's basketball team. They've already matched their win total from last year, which is a pretty great accomplishment. And hopefully basketball can pick it up too.
You know, the men's team does need to pick it up, but I'm all in on the bandwagon for the women's team. So let's go, Cats.
Love to see it. Well, that's all the time we have tonight. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Alongside Jenny Haskel, I'm Evan Denton. Please be safe out there in the cold temperatures and have a great night, Evanston.